And I want to talk to you guys about this because Jeannie did something. Why is it that the prenup was signed March 26th of 2021 and they got married, if we go up here, March 27, 2001? Shout out to Henry Resilient that pointed this out. Why they signed the prenup the day before the marriage? That's a no.
Most men in today's world feel like marriage probably isn't worth it. But have no fear, if you decide to go down that rabbit hole of matrimony, there is something that could protect you. It is called a prenuptial agreement, or even for short, a prenup. And basically, what is that? A prenuptial agreement is a contract between two people that's created before they get married. It typically lists each person's assets, debts, and outlines how they'll be handled should the couple divorce later on. Prenups can also be a valuable financial tool. So this can protect a man or a woman before the marriage. But many people believe that prenups do not work. And why is it the case?
Well, prenups can be thrown out too, and so I think that's something that men should be aware of as well.
So do you know why they get thrown out, Pearl?
I mean, it differs state to state.
Of course.
So there's one that if they do the prenup like too close to the marriage, basically they'll say she was under duress.
Of course. Basically,
so you can't like throw your girl a prenup the day before. There's ways to do there's ways to do it right, and there's ways to do it wrong.
I love that.
Just Pearly Things brings up a pretty good point here in this clip. She says, hey, most people get a prenup a day before they get married, which is something they should never do. Which is very interesting because Jeezy literally got a prenuptial agreement one day before he got married, which is something that he shouldn't do. But he also agreed to something that probably he should have never agreed to, because the prenuptial agreement most likely was rushed. But stop the show. We got to ask a question. Why would Jeezy, who was already rich, agree to marry Jeannie Mai in the first place? I'll tell you. You see, people have to take business risks. Jeezy was under a rebrand. He had went from Young Jeezy, Mr. Trap House rapper, the Snowman, to Jeezy, the businessman. He even lost weight and changed his appearance. He looked more mature. The reality is, Jeezy's career as it was couldn't go very far. He needed to reach a newer audience. And one of the ways he could rebrand himself was to get a partner who had that other audience. And that partner was Jeannie Mai. And in fact, both of them were a rebrand for each other. Jeannie Mai could access the real crowd, somebody who could come on in a new customer base that could possibly buy his books and things like that, while Jeannie Mai could be more accepted in the hip hop community. So it was really a good trade for both sides. But you know what? Like the great economist Thomas Sowell said, there's never any solutions, only trade-offs. So if Jeezy wanted to marry Jeannie Mai, he really had no choice. It was something that he had to give up in order to access her audience. And so this is what he did. He signed a prenuptial with a clause that can come up to bite him. Well, let me let the lead attorney read to what the clause says.
Let's look at her complaint. Let's look at her Jeannie Mai's complaint for a minute here. So you got J. Wayne Jenkins, aka Young Jeezy, the sole survivor. Then you got Jenny, respondents answer and counterclaim. She's suing you, no. All right. So she says, now comes Jeannie Mai, wife, and files answer and counterclaim to petition her husband's divorce. She admits the allegations in paragraph 1, paragraph 2, admits they got married in paragraph 3, paragraph 4. Now let's look at this for a second, because a lot of people are keying off on this. What did she say in paragraph 4? She says, Jeannie Mai admits the party's marriage is irretrievably broken as provided in OCGA 19-5-13-3. However, she reserves the right to amend this response to add additional grounds for divorce that may be appropriate. What additional ground is she going to add? Does anybody know? There's many grounds for divorce in Georgia. So like 13 of them. But she is going to add a specific ground. But she's like, listen, I ain't going to do it now because I'm warning you. You saw what happened with Puffy and Cassie. Cassie tried to let him live, and he didn't want to agree. Cassie had to put that thing on him, and he folded. Jeannie's like, listen, I'm going to just say that I'm asking you for a divorce because the marriage is irretrievably broken. But if you make me do it, Cassie, I'm going to amend this. And what am I going to amend it to? What am I going to add? Mr. Gino says cheating. Marriage causes divorce. Says infidelity. Cheating, yes. Infidelity, yes. But I'm going to give it to JJ because he is correct. It's adultery. Same thing. But we're going to keep it legal. It's adultery. Cheating, yes. Infidelity, yes. Adultery, yes. Shout out to JJ. That's what she's going to amend it to. She's going to add the complaint for adultery. And if it gets testy, she might ask for a jury trial.
That's right. So whatever Jeezy does, if he decides to cheat, there's a big penalty for what's going to happen down in the marriage. And that is very interesting. Now remember, Jeezy filed for the complaint for divorce. And again, I'm going to use the lead attorney to help us out with understanding that.
Now, this is his complaint for divorce. And he says that he's a resident of the state of Georgia, right down the street. We all know it. He's a sole survivor. But look here now. Look here. In paragraph 9, what do we see? He says the parties entered into a prenuptial agreement. When this hit, everybody was like, oh, Jeezy is the man. There's no way he's going to get finessed. He's protected himself. He's doing the right thing. Everybody was clapping, man. Like, goddamn, Jeezy. You got Jeannie Mai and you got the prenup. What else do you want? What does he say? He says the parties entered into a prenuptial agreement 2021, signed and executed. Well, now this is a whole nother issue. This is a whole nother issue. Why is it that the prenup was signed March 26th of 2021 and they got married, if we go up here, March 27, 2001? Shout out to Henry Resilient that pointed this out. Why they signed the prenup the day before the marriage? That's a no-no.
And then Jeannie Mai hinted at Jeezy possibly cheating.
What did she say? Having to disclose your conduct publicly. What did you do, Jeezy? What did you do? Let's keep going. Now, y'all heard Jeezy. All paragraph 8. I got a prenup. Paragraph 9. Oh, I got a prenup. Paragraph 10. I got a prenup, Judge. I got a prenup. I'm protected. I'm saved. Jeannie Mai says, we do have a prenup, but I got a little something to add. What does she add? She says, Jenny shows the court that the parties entered into a prenuptial agreement on March 26, 2021. In the event that the court enforces the terms of the prenup, Jenny shows that the court should enforce paragraph 8 of the prenup. You're like, wait. Jenny's like, oh yeah, he wanted to talk about that prenup. And he said he wanted the prenup to be enforced for the separate property. He said he wanted the prenup to be enforced for the separate assets. He said he wanted the prenup to be enforced for the marital assets. Well, if he's going to enforce the prenup, enforce it then. But don't forget about paragraph 8. Don't forget about paragraph 8. You're like, shit. Jeezy, what did you sign? What does paragraph 8 say, Jeezy? He says, Jenny says that the court should enforce paragraph 8 of the prenuptial agreement regarding infidelity. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, Jeezy, why you put that in your prenup in the first place? Don't ever put some type of clause where if some stripper suck you off, now your prenup can get thrown out, or now you got to pay all these penalties. If some stripper suck you off, well, she divorces you, but your prenup stays in place. Why even get the prenup if you're going to poke holes in it like this? What does he say? What is paragraph 8 that Jeezy signed? What does it say? The prenuptial agreement provides in relevant part that in the event that either party engages in sexual relations, in emotional relationship, or is emotionally and or sexually suggestive in the communication with a third party via all forms of electric communication, including but not limited to texting, sexing, FaceTiming, social media, and or direct messages. All of this shall result in a significant financial penalty upon the adulterous parties as specified in said prenuptial agreement. God damn it.
I just have a few questions because, as it seems, once Jeezy filed for divorce, Jeannie Mai tried to come back. She wanted to stay with Jeezy. He didn't want to be with her. So now she's a woman scorned. She's admitting, listen, yes, the marriage is broken. There is no comeback. I'm filing a counterclaim for divorce. And if Jeezy wants to invoke all of the stipulations for the prenuptial agreement, I also want to invoke my clauses in the prenuptial agreement, which Jeezy agreed to sign. But the reason why Jeezy agreed to sign those things was because Jeezy felt that he would have access to a whole new audience, boosting his financial career, never thinking that he would possibly be in termination of the prenup in itself. And this is kind of what I want to talk about. When it comes to divorce attorneys and things like that, we would think that Jeezy or somebody that has a lot of money would have not made such a mistake. And in fact, the lead attorney believes that this should have been written 6 months prior to it. But no, Jeezy really wanted to get the show on the road. He did it a day before the wedding. Maybe he loved her, I'm not sure. But I think what Jeezy was seeing was so much opportunity in dollar signs, he was willing to take a silly risk, and he did. And I think that once he got to where he was going, he went on ahead and hit her with the divorce. But hey, it looks like she's not going to take this lying down. And I think that a lot of guys need to understand, if you are going to get married, you probably don't want to put that cheating clause in it for whatever reason. And I think the reason why he did that is because she wasn't going to give him the marriage. And it was the only way that Jeezy would be able to access such a new audience in his rebrand. That's the way. He was really trying to get away from the snowman look. You know, he had his book out. He wants to do all these different things. And that particular audience is where he's trying to go. Unfortunately, Hood Jeezy wins again, and now Jeezy might be out of a lot of money. And if she can prove that he was a cheater, and again, remember, the state of Georgia is a lot different than any other states, Jeezy could be out of millions. And not only that, you know, she's not even letting him see the kid right now. He's complaining about that. And it all happened just within like 2 or 3 months. So she's ready to go all the way. And I think that Jeezy is in for a fight. Do you guys think it's still worth it to get married? I'm not sure. Well, guys, let me know in the comments. It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.